Good news! John found an 18GB motor out of a rotted MGB.
So the next chapter in our saga is this. Because the other one is so beautiful and whole and intact and nice, an original 67, remember the goal was to get a GB engine to put into the project car. So back onto the internet, I locate this guy, again out of North Tampa area. Now this is a 67, all original. No, that's a lie. That's a lie. It is not all original. Ugh. What it is a wreck, but I bought it because it has a GB engine in it. All right. So this guy, I mean, it is a heap. It's interesting. I think it's got these original moon caps on it. But it is totally rusted. It was sitting in a field in weeds as tall as me. I can pull some pieces off. I mean, it's totally gone. But I can pull some chrome bits. The bumpers seem okay. These rims, I think, are okay, and they could be desirable. I mean, it's just things like door handles. The windshield's in good shape. Side mirrors are decent. Let's see what else would be useful off of this thing. The dashboard, some gauges maybe. But I mean, there is no floor. It's not that it's gone, but there is no floor. The other thing that's a little saddening, anyways, is when the guy showed the pictures of the engine. I don't know if you'll see it because of all the shadows and nonsense going on here. I think you can see there 18GB R and then 18GB RUH. Well, when I checked the codes on that, the RU series versus the L is the synchro mesh. Not synchro mesh, I'm sorry, the overdrive version of the GB engine. So it's like, ooh. So I paid $700 for this, and this is probably the worst investment that I have made in this project so far. But for $700, again, I got the whole car, but it was the engine that I'm after. And when I saw and researched that it had the RU, and I did this kind of all online based on photographs because it's a 90-minute drive, didn't want to drive out there. But it doesn't have the overdrive tranny in it. So at some point, you know, they put a new tranny on it, swapped motors. I don't know what they did, but that's the state of that. But that would have been an added bonus, is to get the overdrive transmission. But remember, I just want the GB engine motor to put into the other car. So that's what we got here. Said we can, front bumper seems okay. The grill can be fixed, the headlights. So there's still stuff we can pull off this that will be useful to reuse or sell after the thing to recoup some costs for these various projects. So there you go. So today, I don't think I'll show it just because it's just pulling an engine. There's nothing gee whiz. You undo all the lines to it, undo the engine mount bolts up front. You can either decide to pull the engine and leave the transmission in, or you can undo the tranny at the U-joints, the drive shaft, undo those mounts and pull the whole thing out. Haven't decided which way I'm going to go. I'll do that today. And then I will have this motor ready to put into the true project car. The problem is, this car is so ragged and rotted. I mean, really bad. I don't know if it's been sitting in salt water from some hurricane flood that happened since 67 to now, but the engine seems okay to look at it from the externally. It's locked, and I kind of expected that. That's not a problem either. I'm just hoping that this engine can be restored and that it's not there's not something heinous inside, like a cracked block or just something bad that you can't refurbish. So that's where we are, pulling this engine out to pop into the project car. All right, so I've made some headway on engine removal. I've got sad hopes for this, if that's a word. I got a bad impression. I'm not sure what to tell you. I'll explain why in a second. But got the hood off. I just chopped it off. The hood was useless. Chopped off the roof because that was useless, all seized up. I can save the dashboard. That's useful. I can save the windshield. I can save that little decorative intake. Nothing else in here is of use. Even the doors are kind of useless, except maybe the handle. What's back here? Again, the wheels I'll save because I think somebody somewhere might want those moon caps. Rear bumper looks all right. Some of the bits here are good. Nothing in here is useful, except I did cut out the little spare wheel holder. That has use. I'll save this fuel tube. That's in okay shape. This taillight's all right. Going around, or just cut the trunk off. It was terrible. Similarly, I'll save the side windows, handles. Maybe I'll cut these little chrome bits off. I can actually save the battery cables. They might be of use. There you can see I cut the tunnel away because I want to get the engine out. I'm just cutting this drive shaft off because I think it was like scabbed from something else. I'll keep the flange. Got to undo the shifter to get that out. What else can we see here? What else? Nothing really here to talk about. I will keep the differential, of course, banjo style. I'll check the leaf springs, but I got a bad feeling about those since they were sitting at ground level as this thing rotted. Okay, and the front headlights are good. This bumper's okay, and even the grill is decent, so some useful parts. And probably the front end's all right. Looks a little nasty, but they usually clean up okay. But, okay, so here's the kicker. I pulled the engine dipstick out, which I don't know where it is. It's somewhere here, but I pulled it out, and all of a sudden water started flowing out of the dipstick hole. So this thing was filled with water way high. Right now the water is sitting at dipstick level. So yeah, I got a feeling the entire crankcase area is full of water, and probably salt water is my guess. It's been sitting after a flood. So we'll get it out and we'll see what's going on. I cut all the hoses because they're useless. So at the end of the day, what I might be able to get off of this, because even the alternator is gone, but it's got one of those old-fashioned starter motors on it, so I might be able to refurbish that and recoup some money. The SU carbs are there, but they're pretty rough. I don't know if I can restore them when they're that bad with corrosion and stuff, but I don't know, maybe SU carbs come back strong. I guess I can save the clutch and brake. Maybe some parts of the fan box are useful. Hey, that plastic part's intact. I can use that. Let's Let's see, oil cooler, maybe the horns work. But even the top pulley is seized. So, you know, but I'll video it. It might be interesting to do a will it run episode. We'll see what happens. But engine is out, and I gotta tell you, I put up a battle. I'm not quite sure what it was, but it did battle. And good old Red to the rescue. Got the damn thing out. There she is in all her glory with the wrong transmission. Weeping water. Like a crying baby. That's all that this is, water coming out of the oil port. So when I pull this off, it's gonna be ugly. What's interesting is that the engine was clean. It's almost like the dude steam cleaned the engine before I got there. It's like, oh, you want the engine? That's in good shape. Whereas the rest of it was just horrific. So let's get that on an engine stand. Well, I got the tranny off. Put it on an engine stand. And just start tearing apart and see if I can use anything from it. Anything would be good at this point. Quick update. Out of breath because it's literally like 98 degrees out. And I'm in the sun. I'm gonna pass out. Alright, so tranny came off. Not too big a problem. Pressure plate was seized onto the flywheel. And there was one screw that was screwing me, as it should have, since it's a screw. But got it off, so I'm now down to those nasty bolts around the middle that are very shallow bolts. So you only get one shot at those to get them off without stripping them. What else happened? I can't get the starter motor out because there's a little metal tab on the casting down here. And because of the way it's stopped, and I don't know, I don't give a shit whether it's out too far or in too far. I think it's in too far, and it's supposed to be out disengaged. I can't get this out until I get the flywheel out of the way. So that's where I am. I hope I get those bolts out without stripping the hell out of it. The tranny actually, although when I took the shifter off here, it was full of water, and it's definitely nasty in there for sure. But at the same time, I can spin it. So there is some semblance of bearings and gears in there. So we'll see. Don't really need it, but it's always nice to have. So here we go. Alright, well, I just smacked the rear plate off, and this has been going. I had to run in the garage and get the camera, so it's been going a while. Yeah, that's not going to be good when I go in there. Got to get my tools out of the flood zone. Ay. This is almost hilarious, just watching it drain like that. And that's only up to here. Still got the full oil pan. Oh boy. Actually, that back plate didn't put up too much of a fight. Those shallow bolts. One of them fought me, but I won. So, almost ready to put this on a engine stand. I'm gonna take the head off just to get some weight off of it, and then we'll mount it up. The head's probably okay, maybe just some surface rust, but I got a bad feeling about everything south of that. Yeah, it's gonna be rough in there. New update, got the carbs and manifolds off, and it's beautiful. It's just gorgeous. It's all bright and polished inside there. And the rockers aren't too bad. As I said, well, water is going to find its way downward. It's not going to hang out up here, but let's get that head off and see what's inside the cylinders and what the valves are looking like. Bloody hot. The head is off. And again, no surprises here. It would be gnarly and rusty, but at least there's some semblance of valves in there. You know, metal cleans up pretty amazingly unless it's wickedly pitted. But we'll see how the seals around the valve seals are. See if they're pitted beyond usage, then you have to put in new ones. And then, as you would expect, beauty. I mean, I don't even know what the hell this rusted material is. Don't know. I know what that is. And nasty. And then this one's actually, oh, look at that. Shit. It's actually shiny under there. All right, got to get the push rods out, kind of put them in order, as if it matters on this thing. I was kind of surprised, I won't be shy in my ignorance. I was surprised to see these machinings here. Oh no, it's not, I'm sorry. I was gonna say, theoretically the GBs did not have the machinings here for the valve clearances, but it's actually just carbon nasty because they didn't put the right head gasket on, so fancy that. But this guy is by witness, 18 GB 4, or sorry, RUH, which should have been a freaking overdrive tranny. That's about all I got with a 3 synchro. All right, so I'm gonna stop here before I pass out. Tomorrow, she gets on an engine stand and we'll pull that oil pan off. And when I flip it, and we can look inside and see what the condition of the crankshaft is and the piston rods and all that stuff, that's when we'll have to make the assessment of, do I trash this thing or can it be cleaned up and machined, and what that cost is versus other costs. In the meantime, I'm still on the lookout for 18 GB motors around Central Florida because I've got to be able to go somewhere, find one that I can go pick it up, because you know, they're not worth anything. You know, $200-300 is what you'll pay for one if it's out of the car. It probably won't have the carbs on it, but who cares? But then you add in the shipping costs, and already it's $700. And then it's all the parts that I got to put into it. So it's that $400, $350, $400 shipping fee is definitely a deterrent to going outside of my local area. I mean, I'll drive like within 2 hours around Orlando, but you know, I'm not going to hurt myself looking for one of these things. All right, just for dramatic effect, thought I'd do this for you. Take out the drain plug and see what the hell comes out. Water, 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 water. Nice and fresh. I'm gonna actually taste this. Now it's fresh. And now I'm gonna go dye. Now it's fresh water, so it's all just rain that's gotten in. So I guess the bright side is that it wasn't sitting in ocean water for a long time. If that's a bright side. Here comes the congeal. Oh boy. Yeah, for those of you who are new to engines, this is kind of what's supposed to come out. Everything before this was not supposed to be in there. And oh my God, I'm going to overflow this tub. Here we go. So it should have just been from like here down, just this area that was full. Okay, there we go. It's finally draining out. So there you have it, folks. There's the climax of the video series on where the water is. So when I come back to this project, it will be to mount it to the engine stand and take off the oil pan, and then we can see the damage to the crank and the rods, etc. So water pumps off. I think a wire brush. We'll clean that up. And pulley looks good after all the engine lifting and stuff. Yeah, I think we can reuse this. And then similarly, pull the distributor cap off. The cap is actually in really good shape. It's amazing. And I think all I have to do is just take some 800 grit to the actual point contacts, and I think this is good to go in here, huh? You thinking? Think of all the money I can save by just reusing this stuff. So now I'll try to pull this off. I'll see how that goes. I went changing plans. I'm getting so dismayed about what it's going to look like in there that before I even start hurting myself trying to get this on an engine stand, I'm just going to pull that oil pan off and see what goodies await me inside. So I'm going to do the screws and then I'll patch it back in so we can peruse the nonsense together. All right, I'm going to do this one-handed. Of course, one bolt broke. Alright, so that's in decent shape because it had oil in it to protect it from the water. Okay. I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm kind of almost optimistic after seeing this now. It's like it had enough of a coating of oil on it that shit didn't just corrode all to hell. Like obviously I ought to check the crank, but I mean that's a decent bolt right there. There's nothing here on the actual crank or the side of it. It's not pitted or anything. This is obviously, well, you always replace the oil pump. So I'll take the oil pump off just so I've got a cleaner shape to work with, and then I will mount it on the engine stand and see what the hell is going on in here. Pleasantly surprised, folks. Could have been far, far worse.
Time to get the crank and block machined. Thanks for watching.